Howard William Cosell, born on March 25, 1918, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, is a name synonymous with American sports broadcasting. Raised in Brooklyn, New York, Cosell was the son of Isidore and Nellie Cohen, Jewish immigrants from Poland. His upbringing in a middle-class family provided a solid foundation, instilling in him the values of perseverance and hard work. From an early age, Cosell exhibited a keen interest in sports and the arts, but his path to becoming a broadcasting legend was anything but straightforward. Cosell's career was plagued with controversies, especially with the relationship he shared with some of his co-workers. But in the face of all these, there was one moment that changed everything for Cosell, leading to a steady decline in his once promising career. Join us as we explore the life of this legend. Cosell's academic journey began at Alexander Hamilton High School in Brooklyn, where his quick wit and eloquence set him apart from his peers. Excelling in his studies, he earned a scholarship to New York University. At NYU, Cosell majored in English and developed a passion for the written word, honing his skills in articulation and rhetoric. After graduating in 1938, he continued his education at the New York University School of Law, where he received his law degree in 1941. His time at law school not only equipped him with legal acumen, but also polished his debating and oratory skills, traits that would later become his trademarks in the broadcasting world. After passing the bar, Howard Cosell embarked on his legal career, joining the U.S. Army Transportation Corps during World War II. Serving as an officer, he was stationed in both the United States and overseas, where his organizational skills and leadership abilities shone through. Upon returning from the war, Cosell resumed his legal practice in New York City, specializing in labor law. He quickly built a reputation as a diligent and formidable attorney, representing various clients, including unions and individual workers. Despite his success in the legal field, Cosell found himself yearning for a career that would combine his love for sports and his knack for communication. His involvement in the legal profession provided a stable income and professional respect, but it did not fulfill his creative ambitions. It was during this period that Cosell began to explore opportunities in broadcasting, seeing it as a way to marry his passion for sports with his unique ability to captivate an audience. Cosell's foray into broadcasting was a decision that came later on. While practicing law, he volunteered to host a radio show for the Little League of New York. This experience rekindled his childhood passion for sports and showcased his potential as a sports commentator. His distinctive voice and no-nonsense style quickly caught the attention of industry professionals. In 1953, he made his television debut on ABC's Sports Focus, marking the start of a groundbreaking career in sports broadcasting. Initially, Cosell's transition from law to broadcasting was met with skepticism. Many doubted whether a lawyer could make a successful switch to sports commentary, a field dominated by former athletes and seasoned journalists. However, Cosell's legal background proved to be an asset rather than a hindrance. His ability to analyze, debate, and present facts in a compelling manner set him apart from his contemporaries. He brought a new level of sophistication and critical insight to sports broadcasting, challenging the status quo and reshaping the landscape of sports journalism. Cosell's early work included covering boxing matches, a sport he grew to love, and one that brought him significant recognition. His partnership with Muhammad Ali, whom he first interviewed in 1962, became legendary. The dynamic between the eloquent Cosell and the charismatic Ali captivated audiences, elevating both men's profiles. Cosell's commentary during Ali's fights was both insightful and controversial, often reflecting the turbulent social and political climate of the time. In 1970, Cosell's career reached new heights when he joined ABC's Monday Night Football as a commentator. The show was revolutionary, bringing primetime football to a national audience. Cosell, alongside Frank Gifford and Don Meredith, formed a trio that became iconic in sports broadcasting. His sharp wit, unfiltered commentary, and willingness to tackle controversial subjects made him a polarizing figure. Viewers either loved or hated him, but they could not ignore him. Howard Cosell's perceived arrogance had a profound impact on his relationships with colleagues, network executives, and athletes throughout his career. His unwavering confidence in his abilities, coupled with his blunt and often critical commentary, alienated many in the sports broadcasting industry. While his distinctive style and unfiltered opinions earned him a loyal following among viewers who appreciated his candor, they also fostered animosity and resentment among those who worked with him. Cosell's relationships with his colleagues on Monday Night Football were notably strained due to his perceived arrogance. He often clashed with his co-commentators, Frank Gifford and Don Meredith, whom he viewed as lacking the intellectual rigor he brought to the broadcast. Cosell's dismissive attitude towards his peers created a tense working environment, and his critiques of their commentary style were seen as disrespectful. This tension was exacerbated by his public comments and writings, particularly in his autobiography, I Never Played the Game, where he openly criticized them. His refusal to temper his criticisms or adopt a more collegial approach damaged his relationships and reinforced his image as a difficult and uncooperative colleague. Network executives also found Cosell's arrogance challenging to manage. His insistence on addressing controversial issues, such as race and politics, in his commentary often put him at odds with network priorities focused on ratings and advertiser satisfaction. Cosell's willingness to speak out, regardless of the potential backlash, made him a polarizing figure. While his approach attracted a substantial audience, it also drew criticism and concern from sponsors and network officials. Despite pressure to conform to a more conventional broadcasting style, Cosell remained steadfast in his commitment to authenticity and intellectual honesty. This inflexibility strained his relationships with those who sought a more compliant and marketable personality. Cosell's interactions with athletes were also affected by his perceived arrogance. While he developed a close and mutually respectful relationship with Muhammad Ali, many other athletes found his critical and sometimes condescending attitude off-putting. His tendency to scrutinize and question athletes' performances and decisions, rather than simply celebrate their achievements, created friction. His approach was particularly evident in his coverage of boxing and football, where he was known for his pointed questions and harsh assessments. Athletes who were unaccustomed to such scrutiny often reacted defensively, further alienating Cosell from the sports community. Despite the widespread criticism and strained relationships, Cosell was unwilling to change his approach for anyone. He believed deeply in the importance of integrity and honesty in journalism and was determined to maintain his standards, even if it meant alienating others. This unwavering commitment to his principles was both a strength and a weakness. It earned him respect from those who valued journalistic integrity, but also isolated him from colleagues and industry insiders who preferred a more diplomatic approach. Cosell's presence on Monday Night Football was transformative. He introduced a more analytical and sometimes critical perspective to sports commentary, often going into the socio-political aspects of the games and the players. His background as a lawyer contributed to his methodical and incisive analysis, distinguishing him from other sports commentators who tended to focus solely on the action on the field. Cosell's bold approach attracted a broad audience, including those who were not traditional sports fans, but were drawn to his unique style and the drama he brought to the broadcast. Cosell's career, however, was not without its controversies. His candid and often provocative commentary frequently landed him in hot water with network executives, sponsors, and viewers. He was known for speaking his mind regardless of the potential backlash, and this trait, while endearing to some, alienated others. One of the most significant controversies in his career arose from his use of the phrase "little monkey" during a Monday Night Football broadcast in 1983. Howard Cosell's comment about Alvin Garrett during a Monday Night Football broadcast in 1983 sparked significant controversy and had far-reaching consequences for his career. During the game between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys, Cosell referred to Garrett, a black wide receiver, as a little monkey. This remark, intended as a term of endearment, was perceived as racially insensitive and inappropriate, leading to widespread public outcry. The backlash was immediate and intense. Critics accused Cosell of racism, and many demanded his removal from the broadcast. Despite Cosell's defense that he had used the term affectionately in the past for athletes of all races, the context of describing a black player brought heightened sensitivity and criticism. This incident highlighted the complexities and nuances of language, particularly in the context of race relations in America. Amid the controversy, Muhammad Ali, a close friend of Cosell, came to his defense. Ali, who had a long-standing and mutually respectful relationship with Cosell, vouched for his character and intentions. He emphasized Cosell's history of supporting African American athletes and his role in advocating for civil rights. Ali's defense was significant because of his stature as a prominent black athlete and a respected voice in the fight for racial equality. His support lent credibility to Cosell's assertion that the comment was not racially motivated, but rather a misjudged term of endearment. Cosell's role in advocating for black rights extended beyond his personal relationships with athletes like Ali. During the 1968 Olympics, he was vocal in his support for Tommie Smith and John Carlos, the two African American sprinters who raised their fists in a Black Power salute during the medal ceremony. This act of protest was a powerful statement against racial discrimination and inequality in the United States. While many in the media condemned Smith and Carlos, Cosell defended their right to protest and highlighted the issues they were addressing. Cosell's advocacy for black rights also manifested in his coverage of Muhammad Ali's career. He was one of the few sports journalists who supported Ali's decision to refuse induction into the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War, a stance that cost Ali his heavyweight title and led to his suspension from boxing. Cosell consistently defended Ali's right to take a stand based on his principles, framing the issue as one of individual rights and freedom of expression. This advocacy earned him the respect of many within the African American community and cemented his reputation as a journalist, unafraid to address controversial social issues. Despite these positive contributions, the Alvin Garrett incident underscored the challenges Cosell faced in navigating the sensitive landscape of race relations in America. His blunt and often provocative style, while effective in many contexts, sometimes led to misunderstandings and backlash. The incident also illustrated the complexities of language and the importance of context in public discourse. Howard Cosell's comment about Alvin Garrett caused significant trouble for him, but the support of Muhammad Ali and his history of advocating for black rights provided some mitigation. Cosell's career was marked by his willingness to address important social issues, including racial equality, both through his commentary and his personal relationships. While the Garrett incident highlighted the pitfalls of his unfiltered style, it also reinforced the broader impact of his work in challenging the status quo and advocating for civil rights. In the wake of the Little Monkey incident, ABC faced mounting pressure from advocacy groups, viewers, and sponsors to take action. Cosell, known for his staunch refusal to apologize for his candid commentary, found himself in a precarious position. While he publicly defended his choice of words, emphasizing his long history of supporting racial equality, the network had to contend with the broader implications of the backlash. After extensive deliberations, Cosell decided to leave the Monday Night Football broadcast team. The decision marked the end of an era for both Cosell and the show. For many, it was a sad but necessary resolution to a controversy that had overshadowed Cosell's otherwise illustrious career. For Cosell, it was a bitter end to his role on a program that he had helped make a cultural phenomenon. Despite the controversy that led to his departure from Monday Night Football, Howard Cosell's impact on sports broadcasting remains undeniable. He revolutionized the industry by bringing a level of intelligence, critical thinking, and bravado that was previously unseen. His willingness to address issues beyond the game itself, including race, politics, and social justice, paved the way for future generations of sports commentators who would follow in his footsteps. Cosell's legacy is also defined by his unique relationship with athletes, particularly Muhammad Ali. Their mutual respect and camaraderie were evident in their numerous interviews and interactions. Cosell's coverage of Ali's career, from his early days as Cassius Clay to his battles both inside and outside the ring, remains some of the most memorable in sports journalism. This relationship highlighted Cosell's ability to connect with athletes on a personal level, providing audiences with deeper insights into their lives and personalities. After leaving Monday Night Football, Cosell continued to work in broadcasting, though his career never quite reached the same heights. He remained a polarizing figure, admired by many for his contributions to sports journalism and criticized by others for his outspoken nature. In 1985, he published his autobiography, I Never Played the Game, which offered a candid reflection on his career in the sports industry. The book provided further evidence of Cosell's complex character, revealing both his brilliance and his flaws. Howard Cosell's autobiography, I Never Played the Game, published in 1985, also created a significant stir and polarized public opinion against him. The book was a candid exposé of the sports broadcasting industry and offered unfiltered insights into the personalities and practices within it. Cosell, known for his blunt and often controversial commentary, did not hold back in his criticisms, which led to widespread backlash from several quarters. In I Never Played the Game, Cosell criticized many prominent figures in sports broadcasting, including his colleagues and network executives. He lambasted the superficiality and lack of depth he perceived in sports journalism, accusing many broadcasters of pandering to audiences with trivial commentary rather than meaningful analysis. This frank critique was seen as an attack on the very industry that had made him famous, leading to a sense of betrayal among his peers and the public. Howard Cosell's career in sports broadcasting was marked by brilliance, controversy, and an unwavering commitment to authenticity. His journey from a successful lawyer to a pioneering sports commentator is a testament to his adaptability and passion for communication. The incident that led to his departure from Monday Night Football serves as a reminder of the complexities and sensitivities inherent in public discourse. Ultimately, Cosell's legacy is one of transformation. He transformed sports broadcasting into a platform for serious analysis and discussion, forever changing the way sports are presented and perceived. Despite the controversies, his contributions to the field are celebrated, and his influence is evident in the work of today's sports journalists. Howard Cosell's story is a reminder of the power of words, the impact of media, and the importance of staying true to one's convictions, even in the face of adversity. After leaving Monday Night Football in 1983, Howard Cosell hosted a short-lived show called Saturday Night Live with Howard Cosell. Premiering in September 1975 on ABC, the show aimed to combine sports, entertainment, and variety in a primetime slot. However, it struggled to find its footing. The format, which featured a mix of celebrity interviews, comedy sketches, and musical performances, failed to resonate with audiences. Viewers were confused by the blend of sports commentary and entertainment, and the show faced tough competition from NBC's Saturday Night Live, which debuted around the same time and quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Cosell's show came to an end after just 1 year. Following his exit from MNF, Cosell's career entered a period of decline. He continued to make sporadic appearances on television and remained a prominent voice in sports journalism, but his influence had waned. During this time, Cosell faced significant health challenges that further impacted his career and personal life. In the late 1980s, Cosell was diagnosed with several health issues, including heart disease. He underwent heart surgery and faced a long recovery process, which limited his ability to work and maintain his public presence. His health continued to deteriorate over the years, leading to a decline in his once vigorous and outspoken demeanor. In addition to heart disease, Cosell also suffered from Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological disorder that affected his movement and speech. The symptoms of Parkinson's, including tremors and difficulty with coordination, further hindered his ability to perform in the high-pressure environment of live broadcasting. The combination of these health challenges gradually forced Cosell into retirement, marking the end of an era for one of sports broadcasting's most iconic figures. Howard Cosell passed away on April 23, 1995, at the age of 77. His death marked the end of a storied career that had significantly shaped the landscape of sports journalism. Despite the controversies and challenges he faced, Cosell's contributions to the field were profound. He brought a level of intelligence, critical analysis, and social consciousness to sports broadcasting that had been previously unseen. His willingness to tackle controversial issues and his unfiltered commentary left an indelible mark on the industry. Cosell's legacy lives on through the countless sports journalists and broadcasters who followed in his footsteps, inspired by his commitment to authenticity and his belief in the power of sports as a platform for addressing broader social issues. Hope you enjoyed this insight into the life of Cosell. For more content like this, do follow the channel and we will see you in the next video.